in his letter, he's saying he's been manic and
Mm.
hurting people, and he apologized for all the words and the things and all. He's not anti-Semitic and all the stuff. It's a no. Because then, what, the week later, a couple of days later, he says, album dropping in March.
He got an album coming out, P. Get
Album.
the fuck out of here,
So
Kanye.
when it came out, everybody was like, okay, this is a rollout. When is it gonna drop? When is merch
People said
dropping?
that.
When is an album dropping? And like days later, album dropping in March.
P, what the?
What's up, y'all? I'm PC McCray.
Hey, y'all, my name is Shaunda Head, and this is the Everything Has Changed podcast.
From 2 college roommates to 40-something adults, life has been lifing, and we want to talk about it. We're the new adults, y'all. How did that happen?
I don't know, P, but we got to talk about it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hello.
Hey, P,
Hey, Shaun.
how goes it?
It's going. It's going.
Okay,
Yeah, I shall not complain. We're okay.
good.
We're all right. The world is crazy. So I just try to hold my peace.
Yeah, please, because it's been a week or two.
Wee! How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good,
Okay.
but also very excited to rant and rave because
It's been a lot.
I
It's a
was
lot.
like, I'm chomping at the bit. Like, let me at this microphone because it's been so much, P, and I don't know, man. Like
Where do we start?
where do you start? And then every week or every month you're like, this is it. This is we've hit rock bottom. And then you wake
This
up
is
the
the
next day,
worst.
no,
No.
no,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
no, no,
Mm-mm. Not quite.
no, no. So we've got a lot to talk about today. I was telling you before we got online that I've been following the news about Don Lemon all
Mhm.
day yesterday because we woke up Friday morning to the news that they had arrested Don Lemon overnight,
Mm.
Thursday night. And you know what's interesting? I was actually watching his live stream when he was at that protest. Cause he always pops up on my For You page.
Mhm.
And well, I'm following him anyway, but his lives always pop up because Don, you know, real journalist that he is, okay, that's the thing about them. Whenever they fire these folks,
Yeah.
I don't think I much know what the white people are doing who were fired, but then you saw me pause because now I'm trying to think of a white person who was fired, like a journalist, you know what I mean? It seems lately it's been you got Don Lemon, you got Joy Reid, you got Tiffany Cross, and they've all had to go on and establish their own platforms.
And
But
did.
it works so well because they are no longer censored. They don't
No.
have well, they do have producers that they hire for themselves, but they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. At any
Mhm.
day or time, they can hop on there. And Joy has her show now, of course, but I think Dawn was kind of like the first established name to be let go and then to like jump on YouTube, jump on TikTok, and literally make a real channel.
Yes.
Like not just and I love Aaron Parnas, but not just I'ma hit you with the breaking news every time something happens. Don is like live from like 9 a.m. Eastern
A
to like
show.
6.
It's been his career, his life. He's like, "Let me put y'all on."
That's
I
what he's
love it.
good.
And he's so like you say, he's free to just talk
Mhm,
and cuss if he
mhm.
wants to. His cussing of Nicki Minaj,
And
which we will
drink.
get to, and drink. But he has really had the freedom to be a professional journalist, use those skills, but also engage a whole complete audience with freedom.
And that's why they're dumb. Because you done let this man go with 30 years of experience to now go start his own thing. And YouTube pays very good. They pay well with the viewers, you know. And when people come from platform like national platforms like that, they jump over here and now they automatically got 500,000 subscribers. You know,
Easy.
they already it takes nothing. They're monetized immediately. And now they can do and say what they want to do. And he was the one who was, it's not like, hey, I'm gonna get on every night at, he's like, no, we got CNN over here. It's Don Lemon all day long. And then he
Uh-huh.
would be out in the streets with his mic and doing
Uh-huh.
like man on the street interviews, and people would have attitude, and then they would see who it is. They'd be like, I was just watching you. And he's like,
Yeah.
well, talk to me, tell me. And it's like, he is a true professional. And y'all done let this man get out there and set up his own for real platform. That's really why they mad.
Mhm.
And so I was on TikTok when he was in the church and I saw it and I said, he in the church? I actually was on and he was like getting off the airport. He was live from getting off the airport.
The whole
So
time.
they talking about like he planning the protest.
Nope.
He found out about the protest in the car leaving the airport to the, and he pulled up there. All of this was live streamed. So
Mhm.
all of this stuff can be debunked. Of course, their base doesn't care about that, but
Well,
that's, I just really have been loving what Don's been doing. And so for him to be the one that they chose to use to make an example of course, along with Georgia Fort, um, who
now
is
that was scary.
that was scary. They came to her house. You could
That
hear
was
her kids
scary.
crying in the background. And she lives, she's a resident there. So, and she's an independent journalist from the beginning. So all of this is just crazy. But for them to try to make Don the face as if he doesn't have 30 years of this, he knows what he can say, what he can't say. He knows where he can go, where he cannot go. You know what I mean? So it's really dumb of them to think that they can kind of, I guess, prove that he did something wrong. And that's just, it's so ridiculous. And now you're just making him even more famous.
That's what I said. I was like, "Oh, when he gets out, this is just what he needed. Y'all
This
really
is
put a
just
battery in his
dumb.
back."
This is just dumb. It's dumb. And then so apparently, so there were 4 journalists who were arrested.
Mhm.
At least 3 of the 4 were black. I just don't have any information on the 4th person. I'm unsure. Um, so it just looks like they're going after the black journalists because like they been said they were going to arrest Aaron Parnas. They never. It was just all words. But y'all decided to actually go after the black people.
Mhm.
Know? And so that's interesting. And then apparently they had gone to the judge in Minneapolis
Mhm.
and asked them to, you know, to charge Don. Judge said no, state judge. So then they took it to federal judge. That judge said no. There's no basis for this. So they waited until he went to LA and they arrested him in LA. And I'm like, okay, was there a grand jury? Like who said yet? Like none of this, you know what I
It
mean?
was. It was a grand jury,
Okay.
which yeah, they can get an indictment based off of that. That's nothing. And
Okay.
so that's how they got him.
Okay. Well,
After the judges, everybody, even Scalia, up to Scalia, and
they went
said
up to
no.
Scalia? I didn't know
And was like, "No, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous." And
that.
still, they pushed, they pushed, they pushed, and just but I'll say this too, Shaun, it's waking people up. And I
Okay.
think you said it before prior in some other episodes we had. You were like, "It's
Mhm.
gonna take something big that will affect everyone." And
Mhm.
well, seeing a white man and a white woman be shot,
That's it.
that kinda
That's it.
that kinda what they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yep. Like
wait a
us?
minute.
Hold on.
Hold on. Wait a minute." And then now journalists,
Yeah.
it's slowly waking people up. Slowly,
Slowly. And
slowly.
it's always, and the educated people have always said when the government goes after the journalists, that's the last straw. Like that's the
Mhm,
line
mhm.
that is always crossed. And then you're there in fascism and all those things. And it was just, oh my god, so dumb for like you picked such a
Dumb.
prominent journalist. you pick and then it's like you didn't even, and not that I want them to do this, but it would have been much easier for them to just stick to like the people who are, I don't want to say truly independent, but they
Yeah.
didn't have a name behind them already. But you decided, let's go after this guy, and here we are. Here we are. I do think that thing about the people being killed too, P, because, and you see, didn't much happen. People were outraged at the protests and everything when Renee Good was
Yeah.
shot in the face.
That started it.
That started it. But it had to be a man that was killed.
Mhm.
When it wasn't even just because Renee Good, white lady, but also a lesbian. So they would like, there were ticks in
Mhm.
her like con column for
Mhm.
that base to be like, oh, we don't care. We don't care. She shouldn't have been in the street. She shouldn't have
The
been.
car.
Meanwhile, she
Yeah.
lived there. That was
Yep.
her house. That was literally her house. She
Mhm.
literally parked in front of her house, right? They
And
don't have
retrieved her.
garages right there. So, but when a white man was killed and
An
they
ICU
start
nurse.
an ICU nurse at the Veterans Hospital.
Mhm.
They got pictures of him. He liked to hike with his
Mhm.
dog. He liked to,
Mhm.
and then so when they found out there was a gun, and immediately these fools out here like, well, he had a gun and he shouldn't have been rushing the, and hold on,
Right.
because that's always your argument.
You can
Um,
carry.
hold on, because that's
You can
your
have a
side
gun.
now. That's what you
Yeah.
said.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, he never reached for his gun. He was
Mm-mm.
being beaten and he never reached for his gun.
Mhm.
Not only is this not the same, this is what y'all been fighting for. And so it's like it took that
Yeah.
for people who would ride the fence to be like, hold on, now, let's
Hold
take a look.
on.
And then immediately, of course, because again, all the stuff that they're doing is stupid. Because if you were at least smart, because you're supposed to be, somebody up there supposed to be smart in this political world. So for you to get on TV 5 minutes after it happened and start saying everything, never in the history of anything has this ever been a thing that people did. Um,
Lies.
lie, and like you haven't even removed the body. Like this doesn't make any sense. Why would you even hop up there and do this? This is not ever how this works. So that already looks crazy. And then you just saying stuff that is clearly proven. And then talking about he rushed him. Okay,
Mhm.
well, all these
Multiple angles of what
multiple.
happened. Multiple angles of the
Mhm.
truth. And she sat up there and said something that was a false, completely a
It's
story, a
well, then,
storybook fairy tale
like,
right
be
there in
have
front
some
of us.
strategy behind it at least, people. Like, this doesn't make,
Mm-mm.
and so everybody's like, first of all, I hope the lady in the pink jacket is okay because she was
Yeah.
right there. But then second of all, um, wish we could get her footage. Next thing you know, footage. Then we got footage from the lady who was sitting in the white car, which is the car that was next to him when they put him on the ground. Meanwhile, he was protecting a black lady. That was He was trying to protect a black lady because she got pushed by the agent, and he stepped between them. And she said his last words were, "Are you okay?" And then that's when, and P, what? Because you know I'm a crier, so
Yeah. We know. It's all right.
they
You feel deeply.
understatement, but yes, but they put out that video of him. There was a man whose father died at the Veterans Hospital. Did you see the video?
Mhm.
That took me out
Yep.
because I think the man said this was, I don't know if he said it was last year or if it was a couple months ago. It wasn't too far back.
Correct.
And he said, I'm only sharing this, you know, I just think people need to see it. And it was Alex Pretti, the man who was murdered, um, giving the last rites, which apparently, no, I'm talking like I don't know anything about anything, but
Yeah.
apparently, so when someone who's a veteran dies, and they are read like their last rites, and he was the nurse who read the last rites to this man's father, and so this man filmed it, and he said this was just for us and for the family. But when it turned out that that was the man who was killed, he released the video, and you literally hear him sitting there reading what are basically like the tenets of being an American and being free and
Mm.
what freedom is and don't stop the fight. And he's telling the veteran, like, okay, well, your fight is over now and you've done the good work. And I just lost it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just, I just thought it was really crazy that we would have this much. You know what I mean? Because we got all these videos. We can
Mhm.
hear even what they're saying. Then you got a video of this man and he's saying the words and he will go on to be killed for literally just being around a protest. And
Mhm.
he's reading words about what it means to be an American and to stand up for your freedom and to fight and don't give up the fight and the protest. And then for those to be like the last words that people who don't know him are
Yep.
hearing after we see his death, when he was not charging that man, he was filming as they have any right to, and then he was trying to
Mhm.
protect a woman who was pushed like wholeheartedly, both hands in the chest to the ground.
Yep.
That I don't know that man, but he seemed like a nice. I was like, because you got to think about it now. So I'm like, y'all killed the wrong man because you know what I mean? Like y'all
Yep.
had to keep going. Y'all had to keep pushing the button. Y'all had to keep going. And then you did this and then you did this to this particular person who by all accounts was this kind of person and who literally just lived a life of service. And then it comes out that they had gotten into a fight with him like 2 weeks prior. And so now it's like, oh, well, so there was motive then.
Yep. Yeah, I knew who
Huh.
he was.
Girl.
And now that those officers magically have been reassigned back to what, California, I think, is where they were from?
Okay. First of all, I
Mhm.
could not even believe that man. Bavino, he got up there in that press
Magically.
conference and he was like, because they asked, first of all, one of the reporters used the word victim, and he said, no, the ICE agents are the victim here. They are not dead. That's
Wow.
not actually a thing. And so he was
Wow.
like, so they asked what happened to them and are they on administrative leave? And he said, no, they're out of the state and we're not going to tell you where because that'll put them in danger, but they're working in the field. Excuse me? Even police officers sit down for a second. What the
Nope.
fuck is going on? And these people, apparently, they are only trained for 47 days. Meanwhile,
Mm.
we already know that some of the Proud Boys who were arrested for January 6th, who went to jail, who were then pardoned by Trump, were
Yep.
let out of jail, were then put into ICE. These are now some of the men who are on the streets removing people, kidnapping people and children, using children as bait to get their parents. These are the people who are kidnapping people.
Mhm.
The freaking Proud Boys. How is this okay? They don't even have to go through the same training as police officers or anything, and they're federal agents and they're allowed to then be masked. Police officers don't even be masked. This is
Yeah.
literally insane. But anyway, I digress because that's just beating a dead horse. That's just beating a dead horse. But yeah, Pete. Now turns out I did read yesterday that they now have been put on administrative leave, at least according to
Mhm.
CNN.
Mhm.
And Bovino was demoted and sent back to wherever he came from.
Mhm.
But then they brought in Todd. I don't know. Is it Todd, Tom, whatever, Holman, who's supposed to be like the border czar or whatever. They brought him in. So that's no
Child.
better. I'm
Mess.
just, when will this be over? Is my question. And also, let's not leave out Keith Porter, who was killed on New Year's Eve by ICE agents. And a black man.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
want to say New York, but I could be wrong. So we'll find that information and put it in the show notes. But his name should also be mentioned along with Renee Good and Alex Pretti. And there are also actually a host of other people who are allegedly undocumented who have lost their lives in the past few months in these centers and everything. And they're just like, oh, we don't know what happened. Oh, you know, there was even one man, and of course, you know, this made me emotional too. They detained him, and he was the caregiver for his son with special needs.
Mm,
And from the picture that I saw, I don't wanna misspeak, so I don't know, what his ailments are, but he was in a wheelchair. It I don't know if he had a trach or breathing tube or
mm.
something, but
Yeah,
he
he did.
needed physical care,
Jesus Christ. My
and the man is I believe his father is still detained.
God. Mm,
It is really evil, and every day I'd be like, "How are we living through this?"
mhm,
It's just on your psyche every day. People gotta go to work,
mhm. With this
you know?
foolishness behind us.
Mhm.
Keith Porter was in Los Angeles.
Okay, I was completely wrong.
Yeah. No.
But LA, yeah.
Yeah. He was in
His
LA.
daughter has been informing, the public as well. So and she's
Mhm,
super young. She might be like 18, like, she's a teenager, and she gets on that every now and again, and she's just like, "Y'all should say his name too. Here's what
mhm,
happened." So,
mhm. He's the
I
one
w
that started it.
do they tell you what happened on there, P? I wanna say the ICE agents weren't even, I wanna say you couldn't even tell they were ICE agents. Like, they were plainclothed. I might be making that up, though.
He was firing his rifle in the air celebrating New Year because this was December 31st. The
Okay.
officers who lived in the same complex responded to an "active shooter," quote, unquote, situation, but he didn't comply with the orders of putting his weapons down. Now, mind you, you're just living there. You just decided to
P,
shoot,
are you
and this is
P,
on PBS. I'll put
P,
this link in our
are you telling me the agent just lived in the complex and
that's what this
decided to shoot
says,
him? That's what happened?
'cause he didn't listen to him. Yeah.
That's always what it is. It's always what it is. Cause Alex Pretti was shot in the back.
Mm, mm, mm.
I used to be I am sensitive to stuff, but all of a sudden, I'm just like, some stuff I'm like, I need to see this." I watched that video so many times, and I recall the instance when I realized that the man who shot him from the back from the beginning.
Mhm.
So, of course, we're knowing this not self-defense, y'all are not in harm's way or anything, but I just remember sitting there and realizing that that man stepped behind him before he fired the first shot, and I was like, "Wait, why?" He shot him in the back,
He didn't even know.
and it was 10 ti it ended up being 10 times,
Mhm.
and it's always that you're not doing what we want you to do, so you deserve to get shot.
Yep. You didn't listen to me. You didn't I said this, you didn't listen, I'm shooting you.
Yes, because that was the same thing with Renee Good.
Mhm.
And even in that video, in that man's video, that agent's video, she said, "I'm not even mad at you, dude." In fact, it was her wife who had more ire towards him. And that poor woman, I can't even imagine what she's going through because when you see the video, she is the one who was going back and forth with him.
Yeah.
And now I just can't like that. I know that that kind of survivor's remorse type of guilt. Somebody said, um, somebody said she's not mourning correctly because she didn't go on, like, a world tour like Charlie Kirk's wife with the
You
fireworks,
know,
and
well,
so
that
it always comes down to you're not doing what we told you to do. "Do you know who I am? You do what we tell you to do," and then they shoot.
mhm, mhm.
That's always a story. In his apartment, he was just living there?
Yeah, on New Year's Eve. But it's funny you said, Erica, Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica
Mhm,
Kirk, doing this
mhm.
tour and doing shows and the big, what is their conference that they do? Truth Social
Yeah,
well, I don't even know
Turning
what
Point.
it Turning
Turning
Point.
Point. Mhm.
And then we have Miss Nicki Minaj.
MAGA Minaj, if you will.
MAGA Minaj. What is going on?
P.
W What is she trying to get citizenship? Is
P.
she trying to get? Because they say magically her house didn't have to be sold. It just a list
The
of
same
things that
week.
was happening in her life. that these appearances came, now that's cleared up.
Yes. Because we talked about it before, P, how her home was under fire because
Mhm,
she didn't they her and her husband didn't respond to a lawsuit against her husband for attacking a man
mhm,
over in Germany, I think, or one of the other countries. They never responded. So, hey, okay, the judge get to decide. And the judge is like, you owe him this much amount of money. Guess you got to sell your house. And that's been the whole thing for like some months. Literally in December, the judge signed a thing with like intent to say, like, yeah, this is the next step because they are
mhm,
not responding. The week that literally like over the weekend, they were like, oh, Nicki, she found the money. She paid the money for the lawsuit.
hmm.
Same week, she on stage with Donald Trump. So she done skipped from Turning Point conference to on stage with so
Holding
P
hands.
oh P
I'm his biggest fan,
and
and I
nothing's
don't
gonna
care what
change
people
that.
say, nothing's gonna change that. Oh,
P,
okay,
this is so
alright.
egregious because we for yes, her fan base, uh largely people of color, um LGBTQIA plus, lots of trans people. And so when she got on that stage with Erica Kirk and said what she said, those remarks about that I was like, ma'am, is there not a stopping point? Because this is literally,
Mm-mm.
it's not even just this is your money. These people, you've been around for a long time. These people have been with you for a long time.
Yep,
And these it's artists change people's lives. People be going through stuff and they
mhm,
reach or they hold on to certain things for certain artists.
mhm.
And she knows, or I thought she knew, who she was to that community in particular, if we just speak about that community. She got on
Her
stage and
fan
said that stuff.
base.
Then
Yeah,
she get over here with Trump, who is literally has been found liable in civil courts for rape.
well,
He's been what do you call they've called like what why I've lost my word, P.
what?
Um all the women who've come out against him saying that he assaulted them.
The accusers?
Uh yes, accusers. He's been
Okay.
credibly accused
Mhm.
tens and tens of women. Um, he's in the Epstein files.
In 'em. All up
In
in
them,
'em.
pictures. In them, on the plane. In them, in it.
Emails.
E- Everywhere. You yourself are married to a sex offender. Your brother is a sex offender. Your daddy, allegedly, is a sex offender. You are allegedly a victim of sex offenders, and you decide this is the week I need to get on stage with this man
Yeah.
who is, by all accounts, in the courts, a sex offender. Why do you keep attaching yourself to these men? Why? Like, is there no one else around? Like, I'm so
Mm-mm.
confused, and it may be naive. I used to be a fan. I was never a Barb. I used to be a fan. I stopped a way long time ago. And then once she
Yeah.
said what she said about Megan's mom, once she started just going back and forth with Megan, I didn't like it. But
It
when
was
she
a
said what
wrap.
she said about Megan's mom,
Yep,
I was like,
yep. Had them people going to that lady's cemetery, her burial site.
let me tell you
That's
something.
when I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're done. I'm finished with
Finished.
Onika."
And I had been done with the music because the music had went
It hadn't
away.
been good.
It
That pink
something
print
changed.
stuff,
But
I
I
don't
just
even know.
and the Queen album was when I was like, "Oh, turn
I
this
don't
off." Like
even know.
I had downloaded it because it came out and I was like, "I can't, there's not a
Mm-mm,
song on here for me."
mm-mm.
But that, um, I just would never thought she would have been up there with Trump saying all the things that she's saying. Yeah, okay, she might be a Republican. Probably a lot of these celebrities are Republican. I
Yeah.
would never have thought that she on that stage holding that man hand with her press-ons on.
Wait, somebody
'Cause
said
one of them fell off. One of them
she
did fall off. We got the picture.
and she lost her makeup team because that wig was showing the
P.
lines in the
What?
glue.
The
She's lost
lace,
her glam
it was
squad.
white, and then it was
Mm-mm,
the when have
mm-mm.
you ever looked like this? That she had
Something
to
ain't
have
right.
lost her because who be the glam squad? Glam squad. Gay men, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like, just really who is around her? Like,
Yeah.
clearly she's lost. And I just like, how did we get here? I'm so confused. And so to answer, look, after all that, to answer your question though, because you're like, why is she doing this? Because people thought she was doing it for her husband. She's doing it for the citizenship part because, to my knowledge, her citizenship process, which she's been in for years,
Yeah.
was not going to go through because her American husband is a sex offender. Like, there
Mhm.
are some issues, there are some things that will disqualify you.
Yep.
Now, this is allegedly that is what has disqualified her from her citizenship. So now you under Trump's America, they deporting any and everybody they can get their hands on. But now they're going after the Somali who
Yeah.
are black. So that
Yeah.
means they now pulling any and everybody who's black and saying, we think you don't belong here.
Mhm.
And so when it was the same day, I don't know if it was the day of Renee Good's killing or Alex Pretti, but there was a black man
Mhm.
who the ICE agents, he was so big, they had to pick him up and carry him and put him on a flatbed truck. And he
Jesus
was like,
Christ.
I'm American. I'm American. I have my passport in my front pocket. He's yelling it to all the bystanders. And they're like, what's your name? What's your name? Tell us your name. What's your phone number? Where are your people? So they could contact somebody. And he's yelling all the information. And he said, I'm American. I have my passport on me. It is on my person. It is in my pocket. It's in my front pocket.
Mm,
They
mm,
would
mm.
not reach into his pocket. They would not look at his passport. They put him on the back of that flatbed and they drove off.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even know. So after that video, people are like, "Do we even know where he is? Like, we have his name. Has anybody seen? He's American. Why are ICE agents taking him? He's American, and he can prove it. Y'all said carry your passports around. Y'all said
Mhm.
if we pull you, we need to be able to tell. People
Mhm.
have been having their birth certificates and their passports on them, and they're still getting picked up and taken away. They're not giving. They're not even looking at it. And the best thing that can happen is they will keep them for like a week or where they will keep detaining them, and then they will just let them go. And then allegedly they've been letting people go in the middle of the night, in the middle of the forest, no clothes. They're not giving them their phone. They're not getting
It's
anything back.
crazy.
It's not even like the jail. It's not even like when you get arrested.
With Nicki, though, right
Yes, right.
now, she has a legal permanent resident. That's what
Okay.
she is for 20 years, but like you said, it's not
Okay. Okay.
because people were saying, well, with the marriage of the husband, that should have automatically not only does he can't afford the payments, because when you do that, when you're sponsoring a person, a non-citizen, you have to pay,
Oh.
essentially.
Oh, what?
You have to pay for their lifestyle or make sure that they're working and doing all the things. Of course, she's a superstar, but
Didn't
it's
think about.
on the citizen to make sure that that person is doing well.
Wow.
Okay. So with him, I don't does he work? What does he do? I don't
I was
know.
just gonna say, Pete, I don't even know if that man worked.
I don't
But
know.
then
We
why
just
would he? If
know.
you're married, if you're the spouse of a superstar, you
Yeah.
probably don't do have a everyday 9 to 5 job. So I'll give
And
him that.
now with her, but it's like, girl, what's going to be left? You could become a citizen, but who's you are brick by brick dismantling your legacy and your fan
Mhm.
base. There are a few who are still delusional, and now they say they're Republican and they're gonna follow Trump, and because of her, girl, them
They probably
arenas,
bought.
the bots,
Yeah.
children who can't even vote for
Yeah.
real, like it's what? There's no coming back from this.
Did you see the gold card he gave her?
Yes.
And she had the nerve to post it because she was proud of it. And then it just came out. The Trump team's like, oh, by the way, that's not like a real thing. That's just a
No.
memento.
Yeah. It's no value. Zero. It means nothing. It's just another he's like a marketer. It's just
That's
something
exactly
else
it.
to put his name on, to put his face on. He's selling.
Exactly, just like the Trump Bible.
He's a salesman. That's it. That's what that
Mhm,
is. Girl, you posting
mhm.
that like it's something. Sit down. Boy, Onika.
Mm. I'm
I
disappointed. And I'm no longer a fan, haven't been for a while. But I didn't see all this.
no.
And the only other thing I will say too, because you know them videos going around about how they saying that Trump be going number 2 in his
Oh.
diapers.
Oh.
And that's always been a rumor, but now there are like videos of people like responding, like you can hear things happen and you will see the person with them respond. So like there's a video of Dianne Feinstein sitting next to him at a conference, and he does something and she can't control her face. You see other, random people in
What?
his cabinet standing near him, and you'll see their face. And then there was that time where the guy in the Oval Office passed out when he was standing behind Trump. And
Yes.
then there was a video a couple weeks ago where they were having this like really important meeting, and he just got up and wandered over to the window. And so people were like, "Oh, he's doing the dementia thing again because he's just wandering." But
Mhm.
then they were like, "No, I think he just went over there and did his business, and that's why he went and stood up." And so you're like, "Okay, haha, this is funny."
Oh,
That
no.
there's video of Nicki when she goes to shake his hand and she's standing next to him taking the picture, and her whole face changes pink. And it's like, I think we have confirmed that this is really what's happening.
That he's
And here's the thing, P, because it's one thing to be older and be incontinent, but this actually leads back to the Epstein files, because in the Epstein files there are some documents. There is one of the survivors was actually a boy. He was a boy at the time. He's now a veteran, but he was interviewed and he told his whole story. He mentioned 3 other girls who passed. They were all being trafficked, he said. In fact, one of them was a black girl. They all passed while they were being trafficked. He's the only one who made it out from his little group. His name is Sasha. I don't remember his entire full name, but we'll put it in the show notes. Um and in his interviews, he named everybody, including Trump, and he says that Trump has gastrointestinal problems because he was actually attacked when he was assaulting someone. The child, they fought back, and he ended up, I don't know if he was stabbed or
what?
what, in his gut, and he had to have surgery. And that's also why he keeps a gastrointestinal doctor. So not just your regular PCP, he keeps a gastrointestinal doctor like on his team, like at the ready. So he has apparently had issues. It's allegedly, but it's in the files. And the boy, he came out and said, "I'm the guy who said the thing. Now I was a boy when this happened," or whatever.
Oh,
But yeah, this literally happened like in the 80s. Like he's been dealing with these kind of stomach issues from then. And so this boy wasn't talking about his stomach issues, but he was just saying, "I was there when this happened and this happened and this happened." And one of the stories that he told was about how one of the victims fought back with Trump, and Trump was like um hurt in his abdominal area and had to have major surgery. And it so then people were putting 2 and 2 together, like, "Oh, wait a minute, now they're
mm-mm.
like, this is might actually be evidence to what we've been saying about this over here 20 something years later." So anyway, there is a video of Nikki standing on that stage with Trump, shaking his hand, turning to take the picture, and her face goes like, and it's not like, "Oh, I don't wanna be here." Her face goes like,
Yeah.
"Ooh,
I need to
like
go
that,"
back
and
and
then she
see
goes,
that.
she smiles for the picture. And I will find the video, and I will make sure I send it to you, but I'll put it in the show notes too. Because I was like, "What is this video they're talking about?" I've only seen the still pictures, and I saw the video of her speaking on the podium. So I'm like, "I don't know what to say." But, how you go to a speech for your president and you don't have
Mhm,
no words?
mm-mm.
"I don't know
It's a
what to
setup.
say, but I will say,"
It's not real.
the only grace I'll give her at this point is, what if she's been blackmailed into this? Like,
It
what if
seems
they're
that
saying, "We
way.
will deport you,"
Yeah.
basically?
Yes.
because they are deporting people who are legally supposed to be here because they're in the process. They're showing up to people's court dates when they're doing the right thing and taking them. So she's a legal resident, but what if they say, "Hey, we're gonna
Mhm.
nix that in the bud unless you do XYZ."
Use that as an example because she
Uh-huh.
was going on these rants that everybody was like, "Is it drugs? Is it
Right.
mental health? Is it both?" And so maybe in that, somebody was digging and found that drugs and she's trying to get out of some type of charge. There has to be a reason for this shift and not it's just so aggressive and intentional and it's like, "Girl, what is this? What is this?" Because it's one thing to agree with them and decide with them, but the way she's going so hard at it, it's more to it.
It couldn't have been
It
her
has
idea.
to. No.
Couldn't have been
I
her
would hope
idea.
not, because they have,
All this.
video when she was talking shit about Trump in
Really?
2016, and yeah, she was on the opposite side in 2016,
I didn't know that.
once
Okay,
upon a
yeah.
time.
They
So
holding
for her
something over her.
they got to be. Has to
I'm not
be.
saying it's okay for her to be doing all this, but I'm
No.
saying they probably are pressing her
Yeah.
and say, "Really show us your loyalty if you want XYZ."
Oh, she ain't she doing it, but at what cost?
It's bad, P.
At what cost? And of course, she's supposed to have this album to drop in March.
Is she still doing it? Girl,
Womp,
bye.
womp, womp, womp.
Because all the big artists are taking her whatever songs they have with her, they're taking them off their streaming platforms, like Ariana
Gone,
Grande,
gone.
Avril Lavigne.
Take it off.
It's like, "Girl, you get paid too for that." Uh,
Mm-mm.
Nicki, like, if we having money issues, we finna have some more. Unless, of
Serious.
course, they giving her, you know, it's bad, P.
It's awful.
It's bad.
She's embarrassing herself.
Is it worse than Kanye?
Oof. They're neck and neck. They're
Okay.
neck and neck. And now so he came out with an apology
Mhm.
and stating that I wanna make sure I get my words correctly. In his letter, he published a letter in Vanity Fair. Was it Vanity Fair? I need to look and see. Anyway,
No, it was something that let me not say that. It was something to the point where he was like to the black community, and the black community was like, we don't read this. What you talking about? This
so
ain't for
it was
us. You
this
put this in the wrong
long
platform."
letter that said he initially was diagnosed with an injury to his frontal lobe from that car accident in 2002.
Okay.
That's what we know him for. Through the Wire, we know the story, and it was dope. That was Kanye that we loved. Through that time, he's saying that has not been attended to, and he has bipolar. He's become a bipolar situation, which we also knew that he was dealing with
We
some
knew
type of
we
we know these things. You're not telling us anything new.
right.
So he's in his letter, he's saying he had been on these, what do they call it when they're manic? He's been manic and
Mm.
hurting people, and he apologized for all the words and the things and all. He's not anti-Semitic and all the stuff. It's a no. 'Cause then, what, the week later a couple of days later, he says, "Album dropping in March."
He got an album coming out, P. Get
Album
the fuck out of here, Kanye.
when it came out, everybody was like, "Okay, this is a rollout. When is it gonna drop? When is merch
People said
dropping?
that.
When is an album dropping?" And, like, days later, album dropping in March.
P, what the I did not know about the album part. P, listen, it was a no for me too. I couldn't
So, no.
I will say when I read through it and I said this is his best attempt though because he has attempted to roll things back in the past.
Mhm.
It clearly um wasn't a big deal to him. He has attempted, but and I said, okay, this actually does look like a real fleshed out apology. We know it's not to the black community. I think it was like the Wall Street Journal that he put it in. And so it's like
Yeah.
this is more for the investors and the
Mhm.
people with the money.
Yep.
Okay. But also, I'm so sorry. This is not like, oh, I went on a rant one day last September. This is like
Mm-mm.
you've been like the last 10 years since Trump was here the first time.
Yeah.
Um, and okay, you're not anti-Semitic, but every single time you open your mouth, every single time.
Every
So it's like,
time.
yeah, and I know he very clearly was being manic, and everybody
Yeah.
knew it. And then he would tell people, "I'm not bipolar. Actually, I'm autistic." You
Mhm.
could be both, but
Mhm.
also no, you're definitely it. It definitely just ain't that. There's more to it. But I'm so sorry if you up here like talking about he loved the mustache man
Mhm.
selling
Selling it.
shirts with
Yep.
swastika on it.
Yep.
Okay, so then you could say, okay, well, I didn't take my med. I haven't been taking my meds for months. So you just
Yeah.
like this for months. At this point, it doesn't matter. It's gone. It's too far. I'm not
Mhm.
a family member or nothing. I don't have any more grace for you. Some people may and probably should. Everybody deserves that. Those gonna be the
Mhm.
people close to you. And you can say what you want about Kim, but God bless this lady for having a co-parent with this man. I do not know
Jesus.
how the heck she does it. But I ain't got the I don't got no nah. It, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 too many times for me. And now, P, you telling me he got an album coming out.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
I did not know that. And I'm
Yep.
just everybody this week. What are the planets doing? Something's happening because
Something's going
everybody
on.
has lost their marbles this week.
Yeah.
Bananas. I did think that the apology was really I thought it was like if this had been the apology back then, so I don't know, maybe he had somebody write it for him this time or, put the words together. He's like, here's all I want to
Mhm.
say. Cause you could tell
Mhm.
before everything was coming from him and it was not right.
Mm.
So I thought it was the an actual apology. Um,
It could have
that don't mean
been.
I believed it. I'm just saying
Right.
the words did what they should do on the page.
Mhm.
He wasn't
Mhm.
doing that before. But then the
In
fact that
in
he should have
treatment. Yeah. In treatment, taking accountability. He's clear-minded now, and he realizes some of the stuff he doesn't even remember doing. He's all these things. Well, we remember, sir. We remember.
and
Slavery
that's
was a
the thing.
choice. We remember.
That's when it started, P. Slavery was a choice.
We
Van
remember.
lost his job after that.
Uh-huh.
It came from that.
Mhm. Yep.
Like slavery was a choice.
Showing up with Nick Fuentes
Yes.
on a
P.
live stream. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the fuck up. Blacks needs to be imprisoned for most part, and we will live in paradise. White men need to run the household. They need to run the country. They need to run the companies. They just need to run everything. It's simple. That's from Kanye West.
And also, P, because he very clearly has been struggling. So I'm not saying he's not
Mhm.
struggling. I'm just saying
Sure.
I'm over it, right? But also somebody's got to do with money too, because um I don't know if it's like I'm catering to this side so I don't know what it is,
Yes.
but money is a factor here too cuz at one
Yeah.
point he was valued to be a billionaire.
Uh-huh.
Um so just nah and
The apology.
I was a like old Kanye
Oh,
cuz he
Kanye,
came out when we
right.
was like he came out freshman year of college. At
Yes.
college dropout, late registration, like it was so perfect for the moment. And sometimes it's just like, where do they go when they change? What happens to that person? Is that person gone or do they be at the house, when they take the mask? Like I that's kind of stuff I
Yeah.
be wondering. Like where where's old Nicki? Where's old Kanye? Are they still there? Are they dead? Like what I want look. What's going on?
Yeah.
Can they come back? Like
Yeah.
what is it? Or was it just cuz hey, I was young, so
Mm-mm.
nah, like I'm
Mm-mm. It's the
uh-uh.
money thing, because like you said, the first people he apologized to were the Jewish people. Rightly so, you're selling all of
Well,
these
yeah, he went
products.
that was mm-mm.
That was way crazy, way off the rails. And so to have grace for someone with mental disorders and disability, that's real. We understand that. But that doesn't excuse your behavior. And so he's gonna have some fans that's still gonna rock with him. The album may do well just because. You
His
always
music
know
is
those
not
contrarians are gonna always do it. His music, it hasn't been the same.
it
It hasn't been the same.
and look, and I like the choir that he was with when he did Sunday Sermon, but I
Mhm.
also was never I could
Yeah,
never really get into it and watch it because it's like,
couldn't do it. It was
this
a it was
man
a
is
show. It
it
was a
was a this
performance.
he's you this he has a new theme for every project. So his theme
Mhm.
right now is Jesus and church. And so Christians were all and it's like,
Mm-mm.
no, you guys, this is just
You're
he
being
don't
fooled.
really look how he act. That's not him. But the choir was amazing.
Yep.
Like I'm like, I follow them, but I'm not getting on board his Sunday sermon thing because this is off. Something's off. Let's go back to Jesus walk. Jesus walk.
Yeah, he just
Mm.
it's a lot. It's a lot to process. You
Mhm.
have to be I've had to back away, like we said before. Some stuff is just too much, but you
Yeah.
gotta keep your sense and see through the bullshit. 'Cause that apology, yeah, apology, but we called it. We knew an album was coming. Nicki, we know something's up. We know something's up. Don Lemon, we'll see what he does next, what this revolution, this
Free
next phase,
Dawn. Need
this
a
next
shirt.
level, because, yeah, this has sparked something else. So we'll see what next week brings. I don't know.
Girl,
Every
I'm
day.
not.
And we're still in January. I mean, by the time this comes out, we'll be in February, but it's been a long January.
It
2026 was like,
has.
"Hello, I'm here. Hey, y'all."
Oh my god. I really thought I really did think something would have changed by now, I'll be honest with you, P. I thought a year into
Child.
this mess, something would have shifted. We would have found the votes. We would Oh girl, did you hear
Mm-mm.
they raided Fulton County,
Yeah,
Atlanta? They done took the ballots from
2020.
2020.
From 2020. Why are we still doing this?
What and they
Why?
tell me, "Oh, the FBI raided because it's in connection to." No, it's not. They've been trying to get their hands on the ballot. And so the guy who's over the precinct or whatever, he was on the news the other day and he was like, I gotta tell y'all, it's out of our hands now, so I cannot say that the ballots are safe now. Like I cannot because somebody one of the reporters asked, and
Wow.
he was like, "No," and they're like, "Well, it's with the government, it's with the FBI," and he was like, "It's not with
Mm-mm.
Fulton County." So to us, once they go off site, they are no longer reputable. They're no longer verified. They're no longer, and it's like, well, what can they do? But it's like everything they're doing now is for the midterms,
Mhm.
and it's scary. I live in Metro Atlanta, and it's like, what are they about to do with the because some of the things from the last election that
Mhm.
supposedly Kamala didn't win, a lot of
Mhm.
people went out to vote and then they would check their thing and it said, "Oh, you didn't vote," or it never came back, or all this stuff. And so they have been getting people's social security numbers. They have been getting the ballot. They have been not fake ballots, but like let me not. All this is tinfoil hat talk, by the way. I'm supposed to preface that by saying, but all I'm gonna say is, what is the government doing with ballots from 2020?
Like,
So
why? What do you need that for?
why? So yeah, he still wants y'all to say that he won, even though he didn't. But also now it's like we know they got the voting machines too. It's the voting machines company is now owned by MAGA. It's almost like we have we gonna have midterms, but I P,
Mhm.
I think we might be too far gone to where any of this can be fixed, P, and that is very scary.
It is very scary. Here in Florida, they're sending out cards where you have to confirm that your information is correct, and if you don't return that,
Yep,
then that's their way of saying, "Oh, you didn't return it, so we don't know if
yep,
you're correct." I'm reading it, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's the
yep,
same stuff," and I'm just thinking it's, "Oh, information, midterms are coming up, they just wanna make sure," and I read it, they were like, "No, you must return this. Sign
yep,
it, so they're gonna check your signature, and you have to return it." I was like, "Oh,
yep. That's
okay. It's already starting."
they did that to us in Georgia, P, last time, and they got me. And so I found out literally like a couple days before the deadline. So if I had put
Mhm,
it in the mail, it wouldn't have gotten there on time. So then I
mhm,
had to call down to the voting office. The first lady act like she couldn't help me.
mhm.
So then I had to call back down because you couldn't just walk up there. And then I got a lady who was helpful and she changed my information for me right there in the system. And then she said, and just to confirm, you can check it now and you can log in and check from your side. You know, it was a black lady. I'm like,
Yep,
thank you, ma'am,
yep,
because I was finna crash out. I was like, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening.
yep, yeah. So I had to make sure I checked my dad's mail, and I had to make sure that
Oh,
his was all together. And so we can't do the mail in like we used to. So I just have to make sure that he's intentional with his vote when it's time. But yeah, I had to send it back. I had to make sure he could sign it and send it back.
does your dad walk with a cane or anything?
Mm-hmm. A walker.
Excellent. Because oh, a walker, even better.
Mm-hmm.
Because on up here, if you go to vote this look, hey, a pro tip, guys. Go to vote with your elderly or family members. They let you skip the line, okay?
Okay.
Cause the I'm just saying. I learned this when we vote for Obama and mommy had her cane
Yeah.
and you got a cane or granny had her walker, they they take those people to the front of the line. As soon as you fill out your application that they have to check off, they have to go to the front of the line. So if you're with them, you got to go with them too. So that I mean, double check if they do that where y'all are, but they do that here in Georgia. So the last couple well, Granny's not here anymore. But when Granny was here, I was like, Granny. Now the last I will say, because I was like, am I wrong for taking Granny up here to vote? Do she know what she doing? But then we get up to the thing.
Yeah,
Granny,
no,
who you voted
Granny.
for? Not Trump.
They
Okay.
know. They
Good
know
enough for
that.
me. Granny, don't let us be in the hospital. And you know, soon first thing when they open their eyes, who's the president?
Yep. My
I know
mama
it ain't
said,
that one. It actually is Granny. I'm
yeah.
sorry to tell.
She said that fool. And
Yeah,
the doctor was like, that'll do.
that'll do. Thank you. Got it. Noted.
That'll do. Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah. You're correct, ma'am. That'll do.
We don't even gotta go into it.
Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm just saying,
So
P, if it's a long line, go with your daddy. That's all I'm saying.
I gotta take them. So
Go
he has to be
then
able
good.
to vote.
If you can't get up there early and it's a long line, just take him right on up there and they will let y'all go on to the front once you got your paperwork in order.
And now, lastly,
Yeah.
another just sad. Catherine O'Hara,
P
the mom in Home Alone,
P don't get me started.
from Beetlejuice. That's where I met her.
Beetlejuice,
I mean, Schitt's Creek,
Schitt's Creek. I mean, she was still on top.
The Studio. I watched The Studio on Apple TV.
Oh, I said I was gonna watch it because it won all the awards.
It's
She's in the studio?
hilarious. She's just as funny as ever. And the beauty of The Studio is they're poking fun at the industry.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And she's on the show, and they started filming. They've started filming maybe a couple of weeks.
Oh my god.
So, um,
'Cause she was 71, but she
71.
wasn't. Like, she was spry. She was out here.
She was working.
Maybe it's 'cause I'm getting old, but I'm like, now that ain't even old to me. Like, you got it
Mm-mm.
80 and up.
Yeah.
'Cause we found out yesterday, and so people were like, "Well, was she sick?" But
They said a
she
brief illness,
your
but was
brief, like, it
rushed
just
to
I
the
guess came
hospital.
on quickly, and then
Yeah.
oh my god, and then Macaulay Culkin's statement.
Oh gosh.
I was crying this morning reading that, like, just because she spoke at his Hollywood,
Yeah.
Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
It's like, I told my friend, I said, "I need to speak to management because all the wrong people are getting up out of here, and we need to have a talk because, listen, like, respectfully, sir, what the fuck is going on? Like, this
Yeah. I saw a joke
he
on Threads that somebody said the Grim Reaper's aim is
it's a little
off.
off,
I was like,
a
okay,
little wobbly.
we are not serious about anything.
They say he took the wrong person from Home Alone 2
You
because Trump was
have
in Home
to
Alone 2.
laugh at some of this stuff, but yeah, that was a shock because it's like our childhood, and so God bless her family. Her work lives on. Laughter is she just brought so much laughter. That's the only thing
Yeah.
I could think of. Go watch the studio. Go watch it and
I'm
you'll enjoy
I'm glad you told me because
you'll
I
enjoy her
literally
work.
went and put it in my queue after the award. Because I had seen it because I like, Seth Rogen, and I like
Yeah.
shows like that that are
Yeah.
about, like, Hollywood. Like, I really liked
Mhm.
Entourage and stuff.
Yes.
So, I'm glad you told me that. I will go ahead and start it.
She's in it, and so I don't know what they're gonna do now, because like I said, they were filming, and
What was her role in it, P?
so she was an executive. She was one of the
Okay.
execs in the studio. It
Mhm.
just it was so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. So, God bless, and so somebody was like, "Diane Keaton and Catherine," it's like our they said, "Go protect Jane Fonda," and where was she? Protesting and defending Don
Come
Lemon.
on, Jane. Jane
Still
ain't
doing
never
it.
changed.
She ain't changed. It's
Jane
a
ain't
few white
never
women that
changed.
keep it real.
Yeah,
Jane is
yeah.
out here still,
Jane, we got pictures of Jane at the protest from, like, every decade. Every decade of her life, she got some pictures.
still doing it.
Go ahead, Jane.
So we
That's
gotta fight. We'll see what next week brings,
oh, Lord, I
what
hope it's
February brings,
right.
because
I
my
hope we
God,
got something
today,
better to talk about
woo,
next time, man.
January was
Yeah,
a doozy.
a hot mess, if you ask me, but hey,
God bless. As
God bless.
always, you can find me on Instagram at better3701
And Threads, P,
and
right?
Threads. Yeah,
Yep.
I've gone on over to the Threads.
To the dark I was gonna say dark side, but no, we all jokes
It's
over there.
funny.
All
The
jokes
jokes
over
are
there.
funny.
Yeah. And I'm on Instagram and Threads at Hey Shaunda Head. The podcast is on Instagram at The Everything Has Changed Podcast. And we're also now on YouTube at Everything Has Changed. Check us out.
Thank you. Want to stay locked in with us so you never miss an episode? Visit everythinghaschangedpodcast.com and join our email list. That way you'll be the first to know about new episodes and all the fun stuff we have coming your way. Meet us over there.